What's up, everybody? Great Sunday morning to you. It is so good to see you. I am Dr. Zeb Talley, and it's good to have you tuned in with us for the Sunday morning Rehab Christian Center virtual experience. I'm honored to be here. I pray you've had a fantastic weekend, and certainly just grateful to be here with you this morning. And thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, I got a powerful word for you. I'm not going to keep you long this Sunday morning. I appreciate you streaming in exclusively on Facebook and YouTube this morning. We've had some challenges over the last couple of weeks with technology. I don't know what's going on with technology. It's been wild. But we really appreciate you tuning in this morning. And listen, cannot wait to share this word. So let's get right into it. I don't want to waste a lot of time. Let's go through the networks. In fact, if someone can get the stream connected through Instagram in some way, go ahead and put it up there. But I know we are attempting to stream exclusively through Facebook and YouTube this morning. And hopefully that will alleviate some of the challenges that we've had. But good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. And thank you so much for tuning in. Do me a favor, if you're in the chat room, especially on Facebook, on YouTube, and even if we're able to get this connected on Instagram, make sure you say good morning to everybody in the room. It's rude to come to church and not speak. So make sure you say good morning to everyone. And let's get ready to get started on a very powerful message this morning. I really want to take my time and teach this, but I don't want to hold you very long. I want to get through this message, and it's going to bless you in a tremendous way. So Facebook, good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hold it down, turn it into a love. And then I want you to share this video, tag 5 people right now. Tell them to tune in into this broadcast for a very powerful word that's going to bless them. I need you to do that right away. We got 60 seconds. I'm running through these networks. I'm getting into the declaration, and I'm getting into the word this morning. And so I need you to do me a favor, share this video, tag 5 people, tell them to tune in. And I promise you it's going to be a blessing to them in a tremendous way. Would you do that? Make sure you say good morning. Make sure you say good morning. And make sure you share this video with somebody so that they can receive this word. YouTube, good morning to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, those of you that are tuned in, you can subscribe to our channel. It is at TheREHABCC. Just go to the search bar on YouTube, type in TheREHABCC, no spaces, all together, TheREHABCC. And you will see our channel there. You will see an archive of all of our videos, and you can subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell button, and you will get notifications every time we're live. But thank you so much, YouTube, for tuning in. Please make sure that you say good morning in the comment box on YouTube. Let us know that you're tuned in with us. And please forgive my ESPN notification that just went off. Please make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, and we would love to know that you're watching. All right, listen, I need you to share this video quickly. Come on, I need you to share this video quickly. I need you to tune in right now. Tag 5 people, tell them to tune in. This is going to be a powerful message. It's going to be a good, fast, and hard message, but a powerful one that I promise you you're going to be able to apply to your life in a special way. All right, have y'all tagged this video? Come on, I'm giving you 40 seconds. You got 40 more seconds right now to tag 5 people, tell them to tune in. We're getting right into the message. Let's get this number rising really quickly. And again, if you're on any of our networks, Facebook, YouTube, or even if we're able to get this going on Instagram, good morning to you, especially our Instagram people. Please accept my apology for us not being able to get it there. But we wanted to just make sure that we could get things going this morning. And so if you are tuned in via Instagram and we're able to make it happen, thank you so much for your understanding and your support as well. If you don't like the stream there, please feel free to hop on Facebook or YouTube so that you can get the full quality that you want this morning. All right, I want to get into it. Have you tagged this video? Have you shared this video? Have you told somebody to tune in? I hope you've done that, because I'm getting ready to get through declaration. I'm getting my screen together right now. I want us to do the declaration. Listen, when I walk you through declaration on Sundays, I'm not just saying this for my health. I hope you are really stopping and taking the opportunity to walk through this with us. Remember, the power of life and death is connected to what you say. Not just what you say, but what you believe when you say it. And so I want to challenge you to walk through declaration with me right now. And I promise you it's going to be a blessing. All right. So let's do this together. Let's do it. Restore. Say it with me. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me, and right now, his love is making me whole. All right? I want you to repeat after me. I'm pausing so you can repeat after me. Let's do it. Evangelize. We declare that God helped us so we can help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess. His love lifted me when I was down. I'm not perfect, but I'm free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My plans are successful. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Come on, are you repeating this? Let's do it. Hope. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It doesn't matter what happens to me or around me. I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My family is winning. My neighbor is winning. This city will win. And my row has the victory. My past is defeated. And my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. Alternatives. Say it with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender, not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. This is the big one. Come on, say it with me. Breakthrough. We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down. They are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose, for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. Did you say that declaration with me this morning? Listen, man, I get so pumped when we go through declaration because there's just something powerful about saying these words and really not just saying the words, but really believing and meaning what you say. Listen, you know what's coming next. I need you to type in the comments right now. It's already done. Come on, hurry. It's already done. Everything you literally just declared, I want you to understand that it's already done. God's already working it out for you. He's already moving the dice for you. He's already rearranging things, and he's already making some things happen in your life. All you got to do is believe that it's already done. Come on, type it in the comments. I need to see a lot of comments. Type it in the comments right now. It's already done. It's already done. The areas of my life I'm expecting God to restore, it's already done. The areas of my life that I'm going to move in evangelism, it's already done. The areas of my life that need hope and a new future, it's already done. The areas of my life that are going to be alternatives or different, that are going to be moving in different ways, unlike I moved before, it's already done. The areas of my life where I'm declaring breakthrough, it's already done. Come on, type it. It's already done. It's already done. You ought to hit the @ symbol now and tag somebody who has not gotten up for church yet. Hit their name and say it's already done. They're going to wake up like, what in the world are you talking about? I need you to tag them now, because this is going to be a powerful message. Somebody needs to understand that everything they're believing God for, God is literally working it out in your favor. He's working it out on your behalf. He's making it work for you. And I need you to believe and walk in that. Listen, let's get into the word. I'm excited. As you see, I ain't wasting no time this morning. I'm ready to get into the word. We are talking from the subject, reset the standard. I want you to put it in the comments right now. Reset the standard. Put it in the comments right now. That's what we're dealing with. And I'm here to tell you, this is going to be a powerful message. You are going to be excited and glad that you tuned in, because this is going to be a very powerful message that's going to challenge you. Type it in the comments right now. Somebody's watching live. They want to see, follow through with the notes. Of course, we use the comment area to type in our notes. But somebody's also watching the replay. I'm going to be watching the replay and watching it right now. And we want them to be able to follow along. So put it in the comments right now. Reset the standard. That's what we're dealing with. We're going to deal with this very powerful word called standard or standards. We're going to talk about this, and it's going to bless you. I'm going to be coming from Isaiah chapter 59, verse 18 and 19. I'm in the King James Version. Can you believe it? Isaiah chapter 59, verse 18 through 19 in the King James Version. All right. Again, that's Isaiah 59, verse 18 through 19. I'm in the King James Version. I want you to type that in there. That's where we're going to be coming from. But let me give you a little bit of background information before we go there. Right. It's going to take us some time to get to that verse, but we're going to get there right around the end of the message. And that's where the root of this message is. Listen, I want you to record this right now. This is very important. When you set standards for your life, everything changes. When you set standards for your life, everything changes in your life. Everything about you changes. Everything about your life absolutely changes. And it all starts with your ability and your willingness to set standards. Now, when you set standards, we know what standards are. Standards are levels by which we measure. They're levels by which we measure explicitly things like excellence. Standards are levels of measurement. And so anytime you set standards for your life, you are setting levels of measurement for your life. And when you do that, everything about your life changes. Now, let me just give you a couple of things about standards that are powerful. And this is important. When you start to set standards, you quit worrying about being understood and you focus on being excellent. When you start setting standards for your life, you stop worrying about being understood and you start focusing on things like excellence, right? You could care less about people understanding you and getting you. And you start focusing on things like excellence in your life, your career, your relationships, your money, whatever you're putting a standard on. You cease to worry about what people think and you start focusing on making sure that areas of your life where you have placed a standard then produce excellence, right? And see, many of us, we're guilty of this. You are guilty of wasting so much time trying to make people comprehend something or understand something that their spirit can't comprehend. Never waste your time trying to make people understand something that their spirit just can't comprehend. Are y'all listening to me? I'm not trying to come for the white meat right now, but I feel like I'm heading there. Stop wasting so much time trying to explain things to people who don't have the capacity, whose spirit don't have the capacity to understand or comprehend what you're trying to explain or comprehend what you're trying to do. Some of you waste so much time trying to make people get it that in the process, you end up losing the standard for your life. Your job, I'm gonna say this loud and proud, your job is not to make people get you. Your job is to find your standard and live to it, period. It's not to make people get you. It's not to make people understand you. It's not to make people comfortable with you. Your job is to find your standard and stay there. This is so critically important, right? Let me say something else about standards. When you start setting standards, then you no longer operate in excuses. When you start setting standards for your life, you no longer start operating in excuses. Can I say this? Somebody needs to put this in the comments right now. In this season of your life, you can't afford to make any more excuses. No more excuses in this season. Type it now. Because I know I'm talking to about 40 of you right now who have lived your life making excuse after excuse after excuse. And you have allowed life and circumstances in life to cause you to make excuses. And I'm here to tell you, in this season of your life, there can be no more excuses. No more excuses in this season. People who live in excuse die making excuses. There's another bomb you can type in right now. People who live in the space called excuse end up dying making excuses. You got to stop making excuses. And when you set standards for your life, standards won't allow you to function in excuses. See, anytime you accept excuses in your life, you are compromising a standard. I'm going to say that again. Anytime you accept excuses for your life, you are compromising a standard, right? You've set a standard, a goal, a metric by which to measure something. And anytime you make excuses, you begin to compromise what you have said. And many of you don't even realize that excuses are the home of shortcuts. And anytime you take shortcuts, you can't measure to a standard. Standards are the way of good success, not shortcuts. If you want to win fast, make a shortcut. Take a shortcut. If you want to win and have longevity in your winning, stop taking shortcuts and set standards so you can have success for generations and years and times to come. See, people are so hungry to be successful that they're willing to take shortcuts and thinking that just because you get there fast, that it's good. No, not all fast success is good success. Not all microwave success is good success. I've given this example ad nauseum. When I warm up my lasagna, I don't warm it up in the microwave. I warm it up in the oven. It takes longer, but when it's warm and it's warm right, it's warmed all the way through. And so you got to understand that excuses are the home of shortcuts. When people make excuses, they are not operating at a standard, and they are trying to take a shortcut or trying to create an explanation as to why they're not where they want to be, why things aren't where they thought they would be. And I'm here to tell you, that's not how you get to success. Standards, setting standards is the way in which you get to good success. I want you to remember this. This is important. When you set standards in your life, you have to be excellent, even if you're not received. I want you to type in the comments right now. You have to be excellent, even if you're not received. People who set standards for their lives, they could care less whether or not you receive them. They're not thinking about whether or not you receive them or whether or not you like them or you get them. When people set standards for their life, their focus is on the excellence of that standard, period. They don't care if you don't understand them. They don't care if you don't like them. They don't care if you don't agree with them. They don't care if you don't want to come on board with them. It's the standard and it's everything else, right? Mike Tomlin, coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't like the Steelers, but I like Mike Tomlin, has a famous phrase where he says the standard is the standard. And what he means by that is when you set standards, it don't matter who don't like it. The standard stands by itself, right? And see, you got to understand this. You're not just excellent just because of who you are, but you're also excellent because of who and what's around you. See, I love Joseph. Me and my father talk a lot about Joseph and having the spirit of Joseph. Joseph was promoted from being thrown in a pit by his brothers to ending up in Egypt and being sold to slavery. He was still promoted in a place that didn't belong to him because he had an excellent spirit. When you have an excellent spirit and excellent standards, you can end up in a pit, or you can be thrown in a pit, but end up in a palace. Good God, that's a whole word. I'm going to say it again. When you have standards for your life, you can be thrown in a pit, but end up in a palace. Because standards always, with the spirit of excellence, standards always change your environment. Standards always shift your atmosphere. People who got standards can't live a life of poverty. Your standards won't allow you to. People who have standards don't just connect with raggedy people. Why? Because your standards won't allow you to. People who have standards, watch this, don't just date anybody. Why? Because your standards won't let you do it. Your spirit of excellence won't allow you to waste your time with raggedy people. Are y'all listening to me? And so this is important. Excellence, having standards, will attract the right people and the right circumstances in your life and the right surroundings in your life. Let me give you Bible. Your gift will then make room for you. That gift, or setting a standard of excellence, will sometimes cause you to be in rooms that really your degrees don't qualify for, or will put you in atmospheres where your experience don't qualify for, or will give you promotions into positions where you really don't have the experience to qualify for. That's called excellence. That's called having a standard. And so I want to challenge all of you to understand this, that sometimes when you don't set standards, you end up in compromising positions. It's the final thing I want to say about standards, right? Well, not the final thing, but one of the things I want to say in this segment about standards is this. Oftentimes when people settle, it is the result of poor standards. In other words, record this. Settling is the result of poor standards. Show me somebody who settles in their life. I'll show you somebody who's got poor standards. Show me somebody who comes down on their need for excellence and having excellent goals and excellent relationships and excellent careers, and who comes down on that just to have something. And I'll show you somebody who settles. I'll show you somebody who has poor standards. I'll show you somebody who has what they have only as the result of what they settle for. If you don't remember nothing I say this morning, I want you to remember this and don't ever forget it. Who you are and what you have is only the result of what you settle for. Good God from Zion. Come on, Zion, talk back to me. Listen to me. Write it. Who you are and what you have. I don't care what you identify with. Relationships, money, careers, jobs, house, material things, health, finance. Well, I don't care. Who you are and what you have is only the result of what you settled for. In other words, your life never has to be what it is unless you decide to settle for what it is. Some of you living beneath your means, not because you have to, but because you chose to. Come on, talk about it. Some of you are living in situations and circumstances, not because you have to, but because you chose to. That's called settling. When you live in spaces that you don't have to, but you live there anyway, that's called settling. When you live with things that you don't have to live with, but you live with it anyway, that's called settling. And I hate to break the news to many of you, but many of you are doing nothing more with your life but settling. And you got to stop settling. And when you have standards, you refuse to settle. When you have standards, you refuse to set poor standards and settle in spaces or with things that are beneath what you deserve. Come on, I want you to type in the comments right now. I deserve more than what I have. Oh, come on. Because when you make that admission, you're also admitting that there have been some areas of your life where you settle. Come on. We've all been there. Many of us have been areas of our lives where we have settled for things and settled in spaces that we had no business. And I need you to free yourself this morning. I deserve more than what I have. Come on, put it in the comments. I deserve more than what I have. It's a startling admission, because anytime you say that, that is a reflection of your life and really admitting, you know what? I am where I am, but I really should be a whole lot further than where I am. And you got to stop settling. Is that making sense to anybody? You've got to stop settling. All right. Look at this. Let me say this about a standard. You ready? I want you to record this. Without a standard, there is no purpose or destiny. Without a standard, if you do not set a standard, there is no purpose or destiny. Without a standard, there is no purpose, there is no destiny. See, when you don't set a metric or set rules or set guidelines for your life, you're going to fail every time. And some of you are failing not because you're bad people. Some of you are failing not because you're not talented people. You failing because you live in life without rules. Uh-oh. You live in life without metrics. You live in life without guidelines. You're being reckless and ratchet. You got to have some standards. You've got to have some guidelines, because if not, if you don't set metrics and rules and guidelines for your life is going to fail. You got to set a bar, and then you got to live at that bar. And here we go. Not only do you need to live at that bar, watch, you got to make everything in your life come up to the bar that you living at. Come on, Zion. You have to make everything in your life come up to the same bar that you're living. That's called not only setting a standard for you, but that's called as for me and my house. That's setting a standard for everything around. In other words, your standards ought to be so high that it makes everybody around you begin to adjust to come up to where you are. If people not coming up to your standards, it's a good chance they don't respect your standards. It's a good chance that they probably have higher standards than you have. Oh, y'all don't like this. I know you don't. See, you cannot determine success or failure without a standard. You got to have a standard. How are we going to know you can sing? Because you said so? See, I gave this example to a class this week. Talking about people singing, right? Everybody think they can sing until you've been judged by a singer. Everybody think they can sing. And I don't like American Idol right now. I just, it's too commercial. Lionel Richie, God bless him. It's too commercial. I like American Idol when it was Simon. It was the black guy. His name ain't coming to me right now. Randy. It was Randy, Simon, and Paula Abdul. You know why I like American Idol then? Because Simon looked you right in your face and said, after you tried to hit that high note and your eyes roll in the back of your head, and you're American Idol trying to hit this high note, and you didn't change keys 15 times. You're on the key of Z. You didn't change keys 15 times. When you finish, Simon let you go. And when you finish, Simon will lean up in his seat and say, that was some of the most hideous singing I've ever heard in my life. And the singer would be like, huh? Me? Yeah, you. It's the problem. People came on American Idol when American Idol was first popular. People showed up on American Idol thinking they could sing. You know why? Because nobody ever gave them a standard. See, when people give you a standard, then you don't walk around here acting like you got it together, acting like you automatically at a place where you need to be. No, a standard helps you to know that success belongs to you. You can't determine whether or not you can sing if you ain't never been measured against good singers. You can't determine whether or not you can dress if you ain't been measured against people who can dress. Some of y'all walking out the house with them bonnets on your head talking about something, I'm fine, I can dress. What standard you measuring against? Huh? Come on, Zion. Talk to me. It's the truth, right? And so when you try to function without a standard, whether it's an organization or people, organizations or people that attempt to function without standards will always become mediocre at best and dysfunctional at worst. That's a mouthful, but I'm going to say it again. When people or organizations, what in the world is that? When people or organizations attempt to function without a standard, they either become mediocre at best or dysfunctional at worst. When you try to live your life without a standard, at best you're gonna be average, and at worst you're gonna be dysfunctional. You gotta set standards for you. When organizations try to function without a standard, they just let people do what they want to do, go and come as they want, no rules, no guides, no standards, no protocols. That organization will be average at best and dysfunctional at worst. You got to have standards. Even sloppiness is a standard, but you got to have a standard. I hope it's not sloppiness, but you've got to have a standard, because without standards, again, people operate in a place called mediocrity. People operate in a space called dysfunction. And it takes standards to avoid that. This making sense to anybody? Now, let's get into this. This is what I want to give you. And I'm done. I'm going to try to run through this really quickly this morning. What a powerful word. I want to give you 5 things to remember about standards. I want you to type it in the comments right now. I'm going to give you 5 things to remember about standards. All right? 5 things to remember about standards. We're going to get ready to get into this Isaiah text really quickly here, but bear with me. Give me about 15, 20 more minutes. I'm going to try to wrap this up today really quickly this morning. All right? 5 things to remember about standards. Number 1, you ready? Standards don't replace behavior. It guides behavior. Standards don't replace behavior, but they should guide behavior. Okay, you got to throw that word should in there. I think I left it out the first time. I'll say this again. Standards don't replace behavior, but standards should guide behavior. In other words, standards don't eliminate choice. You can set standards for your life, and you can set rules for your life and still make stupid decisions. There's a whole lot of folk that have standards and still made dumb decisions. Standards don't stop your free will. Standards don't stop your ability to make choices. And see, you're gonna have to move beyond this idea. Oh, I got standards. I will never do this because I got standards. No, don't ever say never. You can have standards and still make dumb choices, make dumb decisions, do stupid things, even with your standards, because standards don't stop free will. Standards don't stop your ability to do what you do. Even after God resets your standards, he wants you to correct your decision making. Ooh, are y'all recording this? Yeah, he wants to change your standards. He wants you to have high standards, but he also wants you to make good decisions. Because, baby, you can have high standards and still make horrible decisions. Let me put it the way y'all understand, because y'all understand relationships. Let me just give it to you and just come right for the white meat. I tried to be nice this morning. I'm going to just go ahead and go for there. Ever met somebody who claimed to have high standards for people they date and then look at everybody they choose to date and notice that everybody they choose to date is the bottom of the barrel, but they got all of these high standards? You know what that means? That means you can have high standards and be a very poor decision maker. This is powerful. Did you hear what the old man said? You can have high standards internally, in your mind, in your spirit, in your heart, wherever it is. You can have high standards, but make very poor decisions. And I'm here to tell you, if you're making poor decisions, it don't really matter what your standards are. Poor decision making that is so ratchet is so bad that you might as well not even have standards, and just because your decisions are so bad. And so I'm here to tell you that while having standards is important, and just hear me out, it's almost better to be a better decision maker than to have standards. Ooh, I want to say that slow because some of y'all going to need to rewind this part to really digest what I just said. It is almost better to be a better decision maker than to have high standards. Now, don't y'all take this out. Pastor say, I ain't got to have high standards. I can lower the bar. I can do what I want. That's not what I said. What I'm saying to you is what is more effective and probably more impactful for your life is the ability to make good decisions, because a standard ain't going to make a decision. A standard is just the ruler. Rulers don't. Look, take a regular ruler. I wish I had one of the kids' rules in. Take a ruler don't measure stuff for itself, by itself. Have you ever seen a ruler jump out of the cabinet, jump out of the bin, jump off the rack and lay itself down on a piece of paper and then measure itself and mark itself? Rulers don't do that. Rulers just give you a something by which you can measure. This is really going over some of y'all's head. Are y'all listening to me? Rulers don't set standards. Okay? Rulers just give you a way by which you can measure. That's it. You have to then make the choice to measure whatever it is that you're measuring, to measure the paper, to measure the house, to measure the deck. You got to make the choice to take that ruler to identify a measurement, but rulers don't do it. Standards don't do anything but measure. That's it. You got to make a choice. Is that making sense? All right. Second thing I want you to remember about standards. Come on. I hope y'all typing this. Put it in the comments. Second thing I want you to remember about standards is this. Standards help to create honesty with yourself. Standards help to create honesty with yourself. I ain't talking about with everybody else. I'm talking about what everybody else think. I'm talking about with you. Standards help to create honesty with yourself. People who lack standards, don't ever forget this, or reject good standards often struggle with honesty. Really, I wish I had time this morning to break this down to y'all. I'm going to say this again. People who lack standards or reject good standards oftentimes struggle with honesty. They do. Why? Because the truth only sets you free when honesty is the standard. Say it again. I hope y'all typing this. Type this in. The truth only sets you free when honesty is the standard. How can the truth set you free when we're not being honest? How can the truth even be truth if there is no honesty included? I feel like I'm going too far for y'all. Are y'all listening to me? And so the truth only sets you free when honesty is the standard. When honesty is the benchmark by which we measure things, then that's when truth can operate in you. And so you gotta stop. I don't mean no harm, but let's just call it what it is. Some of y'all gotta stop trying to be honest about everybody else and everything else when you're not even honest with yourself about you. I know that was a mouthful, but y'all better catch this wave. Some of y'all need to stop trying to be honest with everybody else and trying to tell everybody else about them. And child, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. Why don't you take that same energy and learn how to be truthful with yourself about you? Because honesty doesn't work for nobody else until it first works on you. Are you listening to me? Honesty does not work for nobody else until you are first honest with you. You got to set the standards for yourself. All right. Third thing I want you to remember about standards. We flying. I told y'all I'm going to make good time this morning. Get y'all out of here. Look at this. Third thing I want you to remember about standards is this. You ready? Record this. This is going to be good. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here. Standards create expectations. Come on, type it in the comments. Standards create expectations. It's the third thing I want you to remember about having standards. Standards create expectations. When you have standards, you create expectations for your life. And without standards, you have no expectations for your life. It's that simple. Standards create expectations in your life. Standards help you to determine what to look for and what to expect. And some people ain't looking for nothing, and some people ain't expecting nothing because they have set no standards for their lives. When you set certain standards for your life, then you know what's coming your way. Why? Because you're not going to settle for nothing less than the standard. When you set standards for your career, you know what to expect in your career. Why? Because you're not accepting jobs or positions or opportunities that don't align with the standards you set for your career, period. You don't care how much the money pay. You don't care where the job located. You don't care what the perks come with. If it doesn't align with your standards, you're not going for it. See, we got to understand that the greater the standard, the greater the expectation. Come on, record this. Y'all dropping bombs, nuggets like bombs this morning. Would you record this? The greater the standard, the greater the expectation. When you have great standards in your life, you will have great expectations. When you have high standards, people expect high things from you. When you got low trashy standards, then people expect low trashy things from you. That's how it works. So your level of expectation is measured against your level of standard. And the greater the standard, the greater the expectation. So you've got to set high standards for your life so that you can have high levels of expectation. When you set high standards for how you deal with your credit, you have high levels of expectations for having a good credit score. When you set high standards when it comes to who you date and connect with, then you have people then begin to have high expectations from what they expect from you because of the standards that you set. Right? And so you cannot expect major things in your life when you have low or no standards at all. Let me say this again. You cannot expect major things to happen in your life when you have low or no standards at all. And many of you walking around without standards and you expecting great things. Great things from what? Doesn't work that way. You shouldn't expect great things in no area of your life where there isn't a standard. If you want great things to happen in any area of your life, put a standard on it. You want great things to happen in your career? Put a standard on the type of jobs you pursue. You want great things to happen in your education? Put a standard on your willingness to go back to school and get a degree, regardless of how old you are, what your challenges are. If you want a standard, if you want great things to happen in your relationships and your connection, put a standard in who you choose to spend time with. Oh, y'all don't like that one. Oh no. God, send me a man. I want a man. God, send me a man. And then you look at all of these people that you choose and none of them, and it is a reflection of zero standards. So what you expecting God to do? Sis, bro, what you expecting God to do for you in these relationships when you ain't even set no standards for yourself? Huh? You ain't even set no standards for yourself and you expecting God to do all of this stuff for you. It don't work that way. You can't expect major standards or major things when you have low or no standards at all. What you can do with low or no standards, what you can do is expect the same thing. Something real low or nothing at all. That's how it works. And so you got to make sure that you position yourself, that your expectations are positioned as such that they reflect your true standards. Like you can't be talking about, God gonna send me a dream spouse and you got whole standards. See, I try to be nice, but y'all playing with me this morning. So since y'all playing with me, I'm gonna go there. Why are you talking about God, send me a dream spouse, send me a dream man, send me a dream woman, and you got whole standards. You still hoeing. You still smashing everything that walk. Guy, girl, remember hoe ain't a gender word. It's gender neutral. You can be a male hoe. I was about to say whore. Same thing. You can be a male hoe. You can be a female hoe. You can be a whatever you are hoe. But listen to me. Don't expect God to give you no dream spouse when you got whole standards. Your expectations are off. Talk back to me. Your expectations are off. You expecting a dream spouse and you still hoeing. How? How? It don't work that way. You got to adjust your standards if you expect your standards to reflect what it is that you desire. Fourth thing I want you to remember about standards. This is where we're going to get to Isaiah in just a second. All right. Number 4. You ready? Standards create a defense against major attacks. Standards create a defense against major attacks. When you set standards in your life, you create a defense against major attacks, right? And we understand that there are levels of attacks. Come on, John 10:10, the thief cometh not but to steal, that's a level. To kill, that's a level. To destroy, that's a level. So we understand that when the devil attacks us, we can get attacks from him on different levels, right? We understand that, but understand that the standard always represents a defense mechanism against any attack that can come your way. See, you got to know that the devil ain't really fighting everybody the same, because none of us have the same purpose. None of us have the same destiny. The devil fights us according to our individual purpose, according to our individual destiny. He doesn't fight you necessarily the same way he's fighting other people. He is a customized devil. Will fight you according to where you are, and fight you according to where your purpose is in your destiny. So you got to understand that when we then, let's go to the text. I'm finding it now. Isaiah chapter 58, verse 19. Or verse 18. Let's look at this. I want to read these two verses really quickly, right? And I'm going to get back to this fourth point about standards. Isaiah 59, verse 18, 19. I'm in the King James Version. Can you believe it? All right, look at this. It says, verse 18, according to their deeds, accordingly he will repay, fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. Look at verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. That's verse number 19. Now, this is very important. Let's go back to the fourth point. I'm scrolling here to get to what I have here. Look at this. When we read that text, when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord lifts up a standard. What is a flood? In the Greek, a flood is nothing more than a representation of a word of something that is designed to overtake you and wipe you out. Floods are designed to overtake you and wipe you out. You don't drive a car through a flood, because once all of that traction gets sucked up through your tires, I don't care how much you press the gas, you're just gonna float on water. All right, some of us been there, right? And so the flood is designed to overtake you or wipe you out. Now, why is that important? Because if we think about floods in a natural sense, floods will overwhelm you when you're not prepared. Floods will overwhelm you when you don't have God's Spirit. See, some of you feeling overwhelmed right now because of the floods that are coming your way, or the opposition that is coming your way, or the things that are coming your way designed to overtake you, take you, or wipe you out. But the reason you feel overwhelmed is because you're not prepared for it. It's because your spirit not prepared for it. You have invested no time in building your spirit up. And so when these hard things come, you do what most people do. You start running. When hard things come, you do what most people do. You balk. You completely balk out of the situation. You begin to second guess yourself. Don't work that way. See, the devil wants you to go through your life feeling completely overwhelmed. Now, I don't know who this is for, but I know the Lord's speaking right now. Listen to me. The devil literally wants you to go through your life feeling completely overwhelmed in any area of your life, your finances, in whatever area. I don't even want to start naming stuff, but in whatever area of your life that is near and dear to you, I'm here to tell you, the devil wants you to go through life feeling completely overwhelmed in that area. That's his job. That's his assignment. That's what he wants to do. And so you've got to understand that the way we come against this spiritual attack of the devil is by creating a standard. When the enemy comes in like a flood, then the Lord will lift up a standard. When trouble comes, then the Lord will lift up a measuring stick. When hard times come, then we will lift up a measuring stick. See how powerful this very basic analogy is. All right, look at this. And then the fifth thing that standards do, and I'm done. The fifth thing that standards do is this. Standards create predictable outcomes. All right, if I had Chris, we'd be, it's a good time to cue the organ. All right, Standards create predictable outcomes. Standards create predictable outcomes. When you know what to accept, when you figure out what to accept, when you have set standards in your life that says, I will accept this, I will not accept this, I will tolerate this, I will not tolerate that, I will deal with this, I will not deal with this, I will entertain this, I will not entertain. When you go through the process of setting standards, let me tell you something, then you know what to accept and you know when to expect it, period. Because you know that if I've set a measurement for my relationships or a measurement for my career, anything that comes my way that don't line up with the measurement ain't for me. Some of y'all gonna miss this revelation. Some of y'all need to hear what I'm saying right now. Because see, you got to understand that many of you have wasted time in spaces trying to pull things through that had a standard that didn't align with who you are. You can't pull through things through to align with something or somebody that doesn't have a standard. You have to have a standard. Okay. And so when you know what to accept, then you know what to expect. When you set a metric that says, I'm only going to deal with this, then you know what to expect in your life. And that's in every area of life. See, when the devil tries to drown you, right? Go back to the flood, right? The verse 19. When the devil tries to drown you, it's the standard that creates the victory. Good God from Zion. When the devil tries to drown you, send floods into your life, it's the standard that keeps you above water. It's the standard that causes you not to sink and go underwater. It's the standard, right? And so you got to know this. When you have a standard in your life, you don't get nervous about opposition. You don't get nervous about a battle. You don't get nervous to the point where you're trying to explain stuff to people that they'll never, as I said to you earlier, they'll never really get it. And you sit up here running your blood pressure high, wondering about how you're going to explain. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't get nervous about opposition. You don't get nervous about a battle. You don't get nervous about people not understanding you when you set a standard. You have to set a standard. Did this message bless anybody? I'm done. Y'all see how lightning fast this was? This message bless anybody today? Come on, put in the comments if it did. I want to see it. Put in the comments if it did. Fill it up with hearts. Like this video. If this message blessed you, I want you to fill this comment section up. I want to know this because I'm here to tell you. Many people are dying miserable lives and dying too prematurely and dying unfulfilled because they are living lives with no standards. And I don't care what it is, from standards to in your career to standards with who you sleep with. You better have some standards. Come on, you better have some standards. You better absolutely have some standards. And see, many of you don't have standards. And it's bleeding over into your life because you're allowing yourself to just accept anything and just be any kind of way and just take any. It doesn't work that way. Standards don't allow you to just take anything. Again, remember what I said earlier. When you set a standard, you set high expectations. You expect more when you got the right standards. You expect certain things when you got the right standards. Right? So I want to challenge all of you to reconsider your standards and make sure that your standards for your life, any area of your life, truly align up with the things that you expect. All right. This bless anybody? Come on. It's prayer time. I want you to type in the comments right now your prayer request. I don't care what your prayer request is. I want you to know I've been praying all week long. My new time is 4:30 in the morning. Lord knows 4:30 hits you so fast and gets to you so fast. This week has been nothing short of a blur. It has been so many things going on, good things. A lot of work tasks for me personally, but it's been a blur. Let me tell you something. 4:30 comes at you fast. 4:30 in the morning. Sometimes I wake up and Lord knows I want to hit that snooze button for about 3 or 4 times. But I want you to know I'm up every morning. And I pray for you. I pray over your prayer requests. So I want you to type it in the comments right now. I'm starting to see prayer requests coming in the comments now. Very good. I want you to type it in the comments now. But I want you to know that I'm praying for you. Maybe you got a confidential prayer request. Maybe you got something you don't want to share publicly. You can email your prayer request. You should see it on the screen. The moderator should be putting it up. You can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. .org, and just put in the subject line prayer request, and that prayer request will get routed to me, and I'd be more than happy to pray for you. But listen, you got 45 seconds right now. I need you to type in your prayer requests in these comments. Come on, type them in the comment boxes. I want to see a lot of prayer requests. Type them in the comment boxes, because I want you to know I go back and watch the replay. I literally, and not in a vain way, I fast forwarded to when I've cooked or prepared things for you all, and cooked or prepared things for you all, and especially in the realm of prayer requests, right? Because every morning when I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning, I'm cooking and preparing things for y'all. I'm lifting up those things to God and saying, God, I need you to answer these things. These are the things on the menu. I need you to cook and prepare these things. And so I fast forwarded there. I want to know the things that I'm cooking. I want to know the things that I'm preparing every morning at 4:30 in the morning. And so I need to type in your prayer requests now, because we're about to touch and agree and believe that God's going to answer these prayers. Come on, clasp your hands like this as a sign, as a symbol of faith. Would you do it for me? Do it for me quickly. Clasp your hands as a sign, a symbol of faith. We're getting ready to pray right now. And I want you to touch and agree with me. All right, come on, pray with me right now. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you for this word, this powerful time of gathering and sharing you've given us. I pray, God, that you were glorified through this word, that something was said that has challenged somebody to reconsider the standards and the expectations they have for their lives. Help us, God, all of us, to understand that the standard is the measurement by which we measure success, that we are not successful in a vacuum or successful by accident. We are successful because of the standards that we intentionally set for our lives. God, help us continue to be able to set standards. All of us, everybody under the sound of my voice, everybody listening live, everybody listening to the replay, help us all to be able to set the right standards for our lives so that we can have the right level of expectation. We don't want to have high expectations with poor standards. Help us to reset our standards so that our standards begin to align with the things we expect for our lives. Now, God, for every prayer request that's come across this line, we speak to it right now. I ask, God, that you would answer the prayers of your people, that you would make ways, open doors, meet needs like only you can. Answer the prayers of your people in a mighty way. Somebody, God, is dealing with a health issue, relationship issues, career issues, COVID issues, money issues, children issues, whatever the need is. I pray now, God, that you would answer the prayers of your people, and not just answer it, but that you would do it exceedingly and abundantly above all that we can ask or think. I thank you for these things, God, and we count them done in Jesus' name. Amen. Listen, what you type in the comments right now, it is so. Come on. It is so. It is so. If you prayed that prayer of faith with me, I want you to put it in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. God's answering prayers. God's making ways. He's opening doors. He's meeting needs like never before. I want you to put in the comments now. It is so. Come on, quickly. It is so. It is so. Every time you say amen, all you're saying is it is so. You've heard me say this every single week. And I always like to explain this. Put it in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. It is so. God's answering prayers like only he can. And we're excited about that. Listen, you want to be saved today? Anybody want to be saved that's on the line? If you want to be saved, I want you to know that Romans 10:9 gives us the prescription to be saved. If we confess with our mouths, believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is, did what he did for us, we are saved. Salvation is a matter of confession. And somebody listened to this broadcast today on standards and really wants to make a dedication of their lives to Christ. Listen, if you want to be saved, I want you to stop what you're doing. If you're driving, I want you to pull over. If you're in the bed, I want you to sit up. If you're eating, I want you to put the bacon down. And I want you to say this prayer of faith with me, because God wants to save you at this very moment. One of the beautiful things about this COVID virtual environment that we've been in is just seeing so many people be touched and saved, even through a virtual lens, through a laptop camera. People are being saved. People were saved throughout this last year and some change. Salvation is bigger than a church building. It's about a matter of confession. And so if you want to be saved, I want you to stop what you're doing. And I want you to repeat this prayer with me. Come on. Are you ready? Repeat this with me. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I have some flaws. And I also have some failures. But I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin, lived on this earth just like I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. But 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. My friends, if you prayed that prayer of faith with me, I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. You have made what is one of the most powerful decisions of your entire life. In giving your life to Christ and dedicating your life to Christ, and accepting salvation for your life, you have made a powerful decision. Now, this is what I need you to do. I need you to find your church home somewhere. I don't care where you're tuned in from, where you're tuned in from or where you live. I want you to find your church home somewhere where you can give of your time, talent, and treasure. You can surround yourself with other believers and continue to grow in the faith. Not groupthink grow, but grow in your own way in the faith and be everything God's called you to be and more. Listen, maybe you don't have a church home and you want to call Rehab your home. We have so many people that have joined and become a part of our ministry in this virtual space. It's just been insanity. And maybe you've listened to this message, you followed this broadcast, and you want to be a part of the Rehab Christian Center. Listen, I would love to be your pastor. I would love to help walk alongside you in this spiritual journey that is your life. And so you should see moderators on the screen now. If you want to be a part of this ministry, just simply like their comment. If you want to be a member of our church, virtual or face-to-face or both, doesn't matter. Like their comment, and we will have a moderator reach out to you to get some additional information. We would love to welcome you to what is not the largest church on the planet, not the largest church even in the Triad, but by far the nicest church on the entire planet, the Rehab Christian Center, and would love to welcome you in. All right. So if you want to be a part of our ministry, just simply like the comment of one of our moderators, and they will get some information from you, and we'll be sure to include it in. All right. Listen, it's giving time. I want to challenge all of you to give. If this message, if this broadcast has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give today. Challenge you to be a blessing to our ministry. I can't say this enough. I'm so thankful to all of you that have been such a huge blessing to our ministry through giving, especially during this virtual environment. And it has truly sustained us. And I'm very grateful for that. And I want to challenge you to continue to give and be a blessing to our ministry. If this message, if our messages have been a blessing to you, if our broadcasts have been a blessing to you, heck, if our ministry has been a blessing to you in the present or in the past, I want to challenge you to be a blessing back to us. You can give one of three ways. Your tithes, your offering, any special seeds you want to give, you can give one of three ways. One, via CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. That's $REHABCCGIVE on CashAPP. You can give through our website, www.rehabcc.org. That's www.rehabcc.org. Simply choose online giving, follow the prompts, and you're prepared there. Or finally, you can just text the word REHABWORKS. Text REHABWORKS to 88202. Text REHABWORKS to 88202, and right to your cell phone, you will see a message, a reply message that will say, hey, you want to give, click on this link. You click there and follow the prompts, and you can give right from your cell phone. Again, I want to give you these three ways really quickly. CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. Our website, www.rehabcc.org. Or through cell phone, you can text REHABWORKS to 88202. And I'm here to tell you, if you do any of these things and be a blessing to our ministry, God is certainly going to bless you back in a tremendous and a very abundant way. And I absolutely believe that because I'm a living witness. I'm not just a preacher or pastor. I'm also a giver. And God always honors a cheerful giver. He always does it. And so I want to challenge you to give today if this ministry has been a blessing to you. Again, if you have not shared this video, I want you to like this video. I want you to share this video. I want you to subscribe to our channel. I want you to tag 5 people after the fact. Say, listen, you need to hear this quick 60-minute message on the importance of having a standard. Somebody needs to hear this message, and I truly believe somebody will hear it as a result of your faithfulness in sharing this video. So again, like this video, share this video, subscribe to our channel, and I promise you God will bless you in a tremendous way. Listen, I love you guys. I'm praying for you. I want you to have a phenomenal Sunday. I want you to enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Certainly continue to pray for Pastor. And if nothing fails, and we know it won't, we look forward to making plans to see you this Tuesday at Life Study. Listen, You got to meet us this Tuesday at Life Study for part 2 of You're Not Weird, You're Called. What a powerful message on this past Tuesday to kick off a very powerful series. And so again, I want you to remember that you're not weird, you're called. We're going to deal with part 2 on Tuesday. Life Study, 7:08 p.m. right here in our virtual space, right here at the nicest church on the planet, the Rehab Christian Center. And again, I'm just so grateful to all of you, so grateful to God for all of you tuning in and being a part of this ministry. I'm praying for you. I love you. I want you to have a phenomenal week. And don't forget, you've got to work to reset the standard. The standard is the standard. Set a standard so you can set an expectation. And I promise you, you will win. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you and your family. I hope you're praying for me. Can't wait to see you next time. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by CashAPP at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encouraged, enlightened, and empowered you to be better. Please tune in Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for our life study experience. And as always, be blessed and have a